Now let's have a more specific conversation about two topics. Why don't we have a coal, and why do we have a problem with the outage capacities at certain production units? And here's the history of 2020. What was the situation with the warehouse and the coal production indicators? The first quarter of 2020, our company had produced 1.9, 2.2 tons of coal per month. That was a standard graph for Pavlohradcoal and other mines. Then we have a warm winter, a drop in the energy consumption, more green energy, and then all of those factors gathered together, and we had a situation when 2.8 million of tons of coal were located in the warehouses. And that presented a threat to the TPPs that were full of coal and for our coal mines. So certain decision had to be made. Either we have to consume that coal, and that coal could be consumed should we increase the production capacities of the TPPs to burn the coal at our TPPs, and they could be burned at the stations of Center Energo, or we should stop the coal production. So the first option did not really depend on us. So the balance was the follows, that DTEK won't need the coal. And this is not the physical systems only. There were other factors as well. And when Center Energo and the other market players started burning the cheap gas in the summer, as you know, there was a decrease in the prices for gas in summer. That was economically efficient because the gas was cheaper than the coal to burn. But that only took place for 2 months. And nobody in the state thought that we've learned some experience over 15 years, that you have to prepare for the winter in May and June. You have to understand the plan for coal consumption as well as the plan for repairs and maintenance. And this is the absolute necessity. We tried to state that, but nobody heard us. So we had to temporarily stop the operation, the Pavlohradcoal and the other mine as well. So it was for the first time that we have temporarily stopped Pavlohradcoal for that period of time. Now you can see the coal production in April, May. There was a drop in coal production by 2-fold. So we managed to consume some of the coal in the warehouses. Then we restarted the coal production, and this coal industry is fairly inert, and it took us some time to re-establish the original coal production levels. We offered long-term contracts to the coal consumers in the country, and nobody wanted to sign long-term contracts with us. And at that point, the coal prices were fairly low because the gas prices were low, and the price for coal at the hubs dropped to $45. And we offered the situation for the European hubs, although nobody expressed desire to sign long-term contracts. Now, what was the situation in the later months? We continued operation, and as you can see on this graph, as of the 1st of October, we have 2.5 million tons of coal, and nobody had any questions about whether we will have sufficient coal for the winter. What happened next? And then there was problems with maintenance at the NPPs. They haven't mentioned to finalize that in due time. I believe that was the reason for the chaos and the disbalance in the market, because neither our company nor the other market players had sufficient money to run proper maintenance and overhaul, and we mentioned that as one of the most important aspects that regulator had to listen to and had to take into consideration too. Then again, we have a low temperature, an increase in demand, partially because of the quarantine, as we can see that households started to increase the consumption of electricity. And so all these factors accumulated in a situation of November and December when we started to consume a lot of coal from the warehouses. We have fulfilled the contract for Centrenergo. There were a lot of fakes that DTEK is not supplying coal to us or something like that. Let me once again underline, no matter the difficulties we had, we have supplied 150,000 tons in December, in October, then another 250 tons in December, and then the remainder of the coal was supplied in January. We have signed another contract with Centrenergo, and in February we're supposed to supply 250,000 tons of coal. And no matter the difficulties we have, we fulfill the dates for the supply of coal at 100%. Now, this is an important slide. We're going to talk about the forced outage rate, and this is the second reason and a second question that we face. Take a look at our company. The forced outage rates starting from 2019, this is the official statement, that is to prepare for the winter. We have spent 3 billion hryvnia in 2018. In 2020, we've spent twice less that amount. Take a look at the situation for Energo-Atom. They have the same indicators. So the total deficit of money on the market, because of the disbalance in the governance, resulted in a situation that we had to start saving money on repairs and maintenance, because a lot depends on the coal of the cost. Then 5 to 7%, that is the salary, then the same for the taxes, and the rest 20%, this is something we had to use to save the money. So we spent all the money we had to buy coal, to pay salaries, and of course the last was the money to be allocated on repairs. The result was 4 times increase in forced outage rate at our companies, and somebody told fakes that we try to stop the units purposefully. I believe that those people should stop distributing those fakes, because they don't have any arguments. They're trying to blackmail DTEK. We're trying to purposefully stop the energy production units. Back in December, I told, I don't know whom exactly, but to someone in the ministry, I told, you can send the inspection to our TPPs, and we will open the doors. We can demonstrate every unit that we have. We can provide you with all the statistics, with all the technical information. Why should we stop these energy production units? And I told that publicly. We can do that once again. If there are any doubts, if somebody provides information, this fake information to the politicians, you can go to our energy production stations and to see with your own eyes that this is the emergency repairs stop and not the purposeful stop. If we don't have the money, we won't be able to spend them on repairs and maintenance. The lack of repairs resulted in a forced outage rate that we have right now.